Hello, you guys, and thank you once again to the Real News Talk Show. I'm coming to you again today with the sad news about Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter, the coach, his wife and daughter, the lady coach of a team, and also another lady and her daughter. All of these people, and the pilot. Let's not forget the pilot. Man, I can't get over it. I am still in shock. I am just, words can't express my feelings. My prayers go out again to Vanessa, her kids, her baby, her parents, her friends, Kobe's friends, Shaquille O'Neal. I heard him. He's very torn up. I saw a picture of him holding Kobe. It was so touching. I just almost cried when I saw that picture. They were so happy. They were so happy. They were great teammates. And just all of the people. There was a coach that was of the Clippers. He was crying. I've been crying. You've been crying. Everyone I talked to have been saddened by this horrific story. Now, what really happened to Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the others? Only God would know. I mean, I still can't believe this stuff, you guys. This is the Real News Talk Show, and I'm coming to you from my heart. This is so devastating to me. I mean, I felt like Kobe was a part of the family, he was a part of everyone. He touched everyone because he was so great. He was so great. And I have to take my hat off to Vanessa because she hung in there with her husband through thick and thin. And it was for love, you guys. You know, I was so saddened by a commenter that I had on, I think it was my Instagram page or my YouTube page. And they said, well, she's going to be getting paid. I just couldn't even respond to that because she was paid the day she met him through God. She really loved her husband, and it wasn't just about money. I mean, we do have a lot of gold diggers out here, and a lot of women stand on the sideline. I know many of them that have, and they would even tell you, "Oh, I'm going to be a groupie, and I'm going to get me a player." I know a girl that did that in California when I was in California, and they do that for money. But Vanessa, it wasn't about the money. She loved her husband. She just kept having the children, bringing more of his blood into the world. And he even acknowledged that. What a man he was. And he was a young man. I mean, he could have just ran around in the streets and ran wild. That little incident, that was just a fling. That was nothing. That was nothing. That was zero. That was zero messing with a hero. And I'm here to tell you, Vanessa is a real woman. So prayers go out to Vanessa and her family, her babies, her children, because Vanessa, like us, have to grieve not only for the husband that she loved for real and not for his money, but also for her daughter. Oh my God. Kobe died doing what he loved to do, and that was being a father to his daughters. He wanted her to be the greatest because he was a perfectionist, you know. He was a very perfectionist type person. And as I was hearing on a lot of the TV interviews, that people just didn't understand him. When he said, "I'm invincible," he was saying what he felt, and it showed everyone that he was. So he backed up his words. He wasn't just a bunch of lip service, you know what I'm saying? Man, what really happened on that morning, that yesterday morning, Sunday morning, at around, I think they got a call around 9:45, 9:50 a.m. in the morning. My thing is that the air controllers should have stopped them knowing the situation of the fog. And the reason I'm saying that, because the police department, they halted their helicopters because they knew that that fog was too heavy for them to fly out. So if they did it, why didn't the air controllers, instead of having them circle around, because I was reading that they circled around about 3 times prior to the air controllers telling them to go ahead. To me, that was a sign right there. That was a sign. Because if they felt that that fog was too heavy, they should have stopped them and told them, don't go. But they didn't give them any inkling that it was something wrong with the fog being too thick. But the police department didn't use their helicopters. They knew, and they just didn't go until that afternoon, after the fog had kind of went away a little bit. My thing is that when they circled around, you guys, 3 times while the other traffic was going on ahead, that was kind of an inkling. And then I think the controllers did mention about the fog. And the last they talked with the pilot was that he was telling them that he was going to either go up or turn left or something of that sort. When he made that turn, that was the final turn right there. That was the final turn, because then it went down and then it just burst into flames. Oh my God, everybody, my God. Thank you for tuning in though, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for everyone, not just Kobe, because we are the ones here feeling the pain, the aftermath. What is she thinking? What were they thinking when it happened? Did they grab each other? Because I understand the helicopter was a nice size helicopter. Was she sitting next to her daddy? Did she grab her daddy? Did she have time to grab her daddy? Did he have time to grab her? Did the other parents have time to grab their daughter? Or was their daughter sitting with Gianna? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I mean, were the parents embracing their children? Because really, I don't think they had time, from what I understand. But my thing, it still goes back to the air controllers knowing it was foggy. It was foggy. Don't go, you guys. Go later. Even though I know they were anxious to get to the practice and everything, but the lies were more important. And you know what I am really, really happy about is that it wasn't the entire family, Kobe's family. It could have been Vanessa. It could have been the new baby. It could have been the oldest daughter and the other daughter. It could have been the entire family. They were spared. They were spared. So I know we're all grieving for Kobe and his daughter and the rest of the people and their families. But what about thanking God that it wasn't the rest of them, you guys, huh? Yeah, it could have been, the whole family could have went down. Unbelievable. And they were saying that they have to wait until they get, all the information to find out exactly who's who. But I was reading online and it was saying that it was the coach, and he was from Houston, where I'm from. He was from right there, University of Houston, the coach and his wife and daughter. And then it was another lady coach. And then it was another lady that I think coached or taught in the school near in the neighborhood. It was her and her daughter and the pilot. So that was Kobe, his daughter, the pilot, the coach, and his daughter and wife, and it was another lady and her daughter. I just can't even count it. All I know, it was 9 people, and very, very sad time for all of the NBA stars. My heart goes out to you too, because you guys have had personal contact with Kobe Bryant. So just like I'm praying for them, I'm also praying for you guys, because you guys actually communicated with him on regular, levels, not just looking at him on TV like we do, but you guys have communicated with Kobe Bryant on regular levels. You know what I'm saying? And then also another thing is that even those that were playing against him are touched. Because just because you're playing a game don't mean you don't care for the person. It's just all a game. They still love Kobe Bryant. Something else, something else, something else. And I have a friend, personal friend, that has a son that is a retired basketball star. And I was online, I saw some pictures that he had also with Kobe Bryant. So I haven't even contacted them at all because I already know what's going on. Everyone's sad. And, you know, I'm sad enough to have to contact somebody that personally know him, you know, just to hear anything about it. I just, you know, and poor Vanessa. My God, my God. To grieve for your husband. To grieve for your husband, but then also for your daughter. That is really horrific, you guys. It is really, really, really sad. So I just don't know what to say. I keep dropping my head because it's just so painful. Painful. I mean, it's painful. Unbelievable. You know, it's like a hero is gone. A hero. And she was going, his daughter, Yana, she was going to be a hero as well. Even though Kobe didn't have a son, she was going to fulfill that same dream that even if he had a son, who's to say that that son would have fulfilled the dream that she was going to fulfill for her dad? I mean, she looked like her dad. They were like this, very close. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord, Jesus. What is really, really going on? I mean, why didn't they tell them don't go? It is too much fog. Because it's the same helicopter. I mean, he's been flying all the time, you know, with a helicopter back and forth. And it was only 30 miles away from where he played at the Staples Center. It's just, whew, I don't know what to say. All I'm saying is that the air controllers, and they circled around now. They had to circle around because, see, they were giving the other aircrafts time enough to move along so that they could come behind them. And it must have taken them a while because of the fog, you see. They said it was early morning fog. So if it took that long for them to take off, and then they had to circle around 3 times, that was a warning sign right then. The air controllers should have told them this is not a good time to fly the helicopter. And that didn't happen. Even though the police held off their helicopters until noon. You see what I'm saying? So something went wrong somewhere, you guys. This is just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I just don't know what to say because the pilot, they searched his records and he never had an accident. He never had an accident. But if they would have been warned not to go because of the foggy conditions that morning, they probably wouldn't have went. So all I could say is it was just their time and God wanted them with him. That's all I could say because I just can't see it any other way. I just can't believe it happened. I mean, I know I keep saying this over and over again. It's because it's really the way I feel, you guys. This is the Real News Talk Show, and I'm coming from my heart. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And this is real. This is real. So my thing is that it was probably some of Guyana's classmates, or I know it was another person. I think she played on the team with her. And she was going to be our next female basketball star. I do believe that. I do believe that because Kobe put all he had into his daughters. Not just her, but all of his babies, his girls. And you know what I was saying? I was talking to a girlfriend of mine and I said, I hope she froze some eggs, some sperm. And I hope she froze some just so she can still have some more Kobe. A whole lot of little Kobe's running around. You know what I'm saying? And possibly could get that boy. But perhaps she didn't do that. That was just my wish. It's my wildest wish, because oftentimes people do that just to have extra eggs and sperm in the sperm bank and the egg bank just for later in case they get older or something. But because she carried her own children, she wasn't probably into that. You see, some people can do that and go and have their babies, artificial insemination or test tube babies, and other people, they want to carry their own children, as we know Vanessa did. Beautiful, beautiful girls. And they all look like Kobe. My God. Well, that's all I got to say. 41 years old. His life was just ahead of him. And now his kids can carry on. Now, the 3-year-old and the baby, they probably won't remember. I vaguely probably can remember at 3 years old, but I really don't. You see what I'm saying? So, but the oldest child, she will never forget it. She will never forget it. She will never forget it. That is something you have to live with for the rest of your lives. So my heart goes out to his kids. Of course, we all said her, Vanessa's family, Kobe's mother, parents, cousins, friends, teammates, and the whole wide world, because we all loved him. And I'm going to end my show with that sad, sad story. It's horrific. It is horrific, and people are still not getting it yet, because I guess I'm not, because I keep repeating myself over and over and over about it. But it's just such a shocker until it still feels like he's here, And today I was thinking, I said, well, maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they thought that he was in there. Maybe they thought, because they said they couldn't identify the body. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe they thought it was him. But then in reality, I know that she probably confirmed that her husband and daughter was on that helicopter, and the other people confirmed that their people was on that helicopter. And I was also wondering, where was the pilot from? Because they said his name, and they said he didn't have a record, but I was wondering, where was he from, because he had a unique name, and it wasn't from over here. So I'm wondering, where was he from? And I'll find that out a little later, because I'm just now getting bits and pieces of the story. But they did say that he did not have any accidents, and they're going to do more research on what really happened. They were very upset. The police was upset at TMZ because of the fact that TMZ announced it before they could identify who the people, were. Now, that's pretty devastating as a wife or family or loved ones, and they happen to see it on the news, and they're just going to assume because someone knows that he's on there, and they're going to break that news to be the first to break it before they are identified properly, so that the wife can get it in a proper manner. The family can get the news in a proper manner. But for it to be put out on TMZ before they are identified, the police was very upset about that. And many people were, because that's a horrible way to see that you've lost a loved one on TMZ. That's horrible. That is horrible. Horrific. My God, my God. So with that, you guys, let's keep prayers up. And every day, everybody should just pray, 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 pray. Give the family strength that they can move on. But it's going to take a long, long time, because for us, it also is going to take a long time for us. And they need to find out what happened with that air controller and the communication between the pilot and the air controllers. Especially when they said he circled 3 times, and the last he told them he was taking a turn, And they did say that the helicopter was flying a little low. So he was taking a turn, and right after he took that turn, I think it was a left turn, and then that's when it dove down and crashed. So everybody's waiting on pins and needles to find out what actually happened to Kobe Bryant and his daughter and all of the rest of the people. We must not forget those other people, because even though we know Kobe was our hero, but the other people were on board with Kobe Bryant. And so he must have thought a lot about them to even have them flying with him, in his helicopter that was taking his daughter to her practice. And I think she was supposed to have a game also Sunday. So, but what gets me, it was just 30 miles away, and it's just too close to home, I remember I did a commercial in Newport Beach, California, and we passed through there, and so they were telling me, this is where Kobe lived, this is where Kobe lived, and it was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, I get to just be in the atmosphere where he lived. You know what I'm saying? That was all I had to hang on to about Kobe, unlike most of the friends that he had that actually was in his presence. But I do have a girlfriend that met him at some event. I don't know if it was in Houston or New Orleans, one of the two cities, and she said he was really nice. She had on a colorful blouse, and Kobe was complimenting her, and she could be his mother. Like, it wasn't no flirtatious compliment. It was a compliment because of the colors in her blouse, and she would never forget him for that. And I told her, I said, well, I have something to hang on to. I passed by his house when I was doing a commercial, and my driver was taking the actresses to where our destination, where we were going to be doing the filming, and we happened to pass, and she showed us where Kobe Bryant lived. So I have that to hang on to, and I'm going to hang on to that, and I'm going to remember all the good things he did, and kind of take my mind after this show off of the negative things, because as I said, it could have been worse. It could have been Vanessa, his oldest daughter, and his two younger daughters. It could have been all of them. It could have been them and their parents. It could have been, all of his family, not other people. You see what I'm saying? Like in Houston, when there was an explosion just a few days ago, it was two men that went in early to work out at the facility at 4 a.m. in the morning before the place opened. They were the ones that got killed in the explosion. And God saved all the people that worked there, because if the people that worked there would have gotten there at 6 a.m., like 2 hours later, the whole place, they would have all been dead. So it could have been a lot worse, you guys. My mom always said it's always greater, worser, and lesser than what you're going through. So we have to look at it that way, because Vanessa and the rest of the kids, some of Kobe, his seeds are still around. So we have to hang on to that. I'm going to end my show, and please click like, share, and subscribe. And this is the Real News Talk Show. I'll be coming back with more. And thank you once again for listening to the sad story about Kobe Bryant passing in a helicopter crash and what really happened. That's all I want to know. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.